Welcome back to The Explainer. Okay, today we are tackling a universally, and I mean universally, frustrating phenomenon. Picture this. You pull out your phone, you carefully craft a message, hit send, and then nothing. Absolute silence. Crickets. Look, it happens to literally the best of us, and today we're not just going to complain about it. We are going to break down the exact real-world psychology behind why it happens. And then, boom, you see it. Left on read. Those two dreaded little blue ticks just staring right back at you, mocking you. It is a completely stomach-dropping feeling, right? Your immediate reaction, because we're human, is to overthink the whole shebang. You might instantly assume, oh man, she hates me, or that you've done something just terribly, irredeemably wrong. But wait, before you spiral into that pit of anxiety, because we've all been down that road, we really need to look at the actual psychology behind why certain texts get completely ignored. It's usually not what you think. So here's our game plan for today's explainer. We're going to hit mistake 1, dead-end texts. Then mistake 2, the mental load. Next up is mistake 3, interrogation vibes. And finally, we will wrap the whole thing up with the ultimate texting fix. All right, let's just jump straight into it with mistake number 1, dead-end texts. Honestly, this is arguably the single most common communication error out there, and I guarantee you've probably done it without even realizing it. Sending a hey, what's up, or the classic IDK LOL might feel like you're just doing a casual friendly check-in, but you have to look at it from the receiver's psychological perspective. To them, you are basically handing them a chore. These messages lack any real effort, they are completely devoid of context, and they give the other person absolutely nothing to work with. It's the conversational equivalent of a wet handshake. Let's really define this. Because a dead-end text feels like a literal, actual chore to answer, it forces the other person to do all the heavy lifting in the conversation. They have to sit there and invent a topic, and if they have to figure out how to respond from scratch, their brain does something very, very predictable. To save energy, it mentally moves your message right into the I'll reply later pile. And come on, as we all know from our own text histories, I'll reply later almost always translates to never. It just fades into the abyss. Moving right along to our second major roadblock, mistake 2, the mental load. Now, this shifts our focus completely away from the text itself and places it squarely onto the receiver's current headspace. There is such a fascinating dynamic in how differently people view the very act of messaging. A lot of the time, guys will text simply to accomplish a specific task, like setting up a time to meet or just to pass the time when they're bored. But on the flip side, girls frequently treat texting as a full-blown conversation. And a full conversation actually requires a significant amount of emotional energy to engage with properly. It's a totally different conversational currency. So put yourself in her shoes for a second. Imagine she is studying for a massive exam, or she's slammed at work, or just generally overwhelmed by life that day. She opens your message, reads it, and her brain simply thinks, I just do not have the energy for this right now. The absolute biggest takeaway you should get from this explainer is that if she doesn't reply, it is very, very likely not personal at all. Truly. It is usually just bad timing colliding head-on with a heavy mental load. She's just out of bandwidth. And that brings us perfectly to mistake 3, interrogation vibes. Okay, this mistake is all about the overwhelming pressure that rapid-fire messaging creates. Think about getting these in a row. Where are you? Who are you with? Why aren't you replying? Sending back-to-back questions before the person can even process or answer the first one doesn't show genuine interest. Actually, scratch that. It might show interest, but it feels terrible. It feels exactly like a surprise pop quiz they didn't study for. It puts them instantly on the defensive. When you send texts like that, you have officially entered what we call interrogation mode. And the psychological takeaway here is simple, but it is absolutely crucial. When a chat starts to feel like a stressful interview, or worse, a literal interrogation, people log off. They shut down, they will disengage completely just to protect their own peace of mind. Nobody wants to feel managed or tracked via text message. It's a massive conversation killer. So, we know the pitfalls. How do we actually solve this? Let's shift gears completely to the solution, the ultimate texting fix. Here are your highly actionable, real-world steps to basically guarantee a much better response rate. Step 1. Ditch those dry greetings entirely. I mean it, retire them. Never send just hey. Step 2. Send something specific or something funny. A meme, a weird observation from your day, whatever. Step 3. Give them a random thought to react to.
The entire goal here, the whole secret sauce, is to make your text a low-pressure, high-value interaction. You want to give the other person something that is just super easy and fun to respond to, rather than assigning them an exhausting emotional chore. Throw them an easy catch.
To wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a question to really think about and maybe cringe a little bit at. What is the absolute worst text you have ever been left unread for? Look, we have all been there, so seriously, do not beat yourself up over your past texting mistakes. It's all a learning curve. Just remember these psychological insights the very next time you pull out your phone and get ready to hit send. Make it easy, make it fun, and drop the interrogation. Keep these concepts in mind, stay curious out there, and I will see you in the next explainer.